I'd like to thank you all for coming to the All Good Council meeting tonight. I'd like to go ahead and call the meeting to order. We have, as we usually do, we have our invocation and pledge first. And our invocation this evening is going to be led by Mr. Danny Richardson. And our pledge will be led by a special group here to be called up in just a minute. So if you will, please stand and let's bow our heads.
Together. Almighty God, we're so thankful for this beautiful day that you have allowed. We're thankful that we could be here this evening to support our community. I'm thankful for each and every one of our council members and our mayor as they accepted that role and responsibility. We pray, Heavenly Father, that you will be with them this evening in the decisions that are made. We pray that our meeting is conducted with integrity and purpose, that we all respect each other's opinions and thoughts, and we have a positive and outcome for our meeting. We pray, Heavenly Father, that you'll be with each and every one of us, that we know and we have family members that are struggling with health and issues and are not able to be out. We pray your blessing and care upon them, and only you know their needs. Be with us as we go throughout this day. Forgive us of our sins, Lord, but most of all, we're thankful for your Son who died on the cross and gave us all the hope of eternal salvation. And it's in his name that I offer our prayer. Amen.
Hello, my name is Clay Farley, and I will be leading the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Walker, if you would go ahead and call the roll.
Honorable Mayor Fowler.
Here.
Honorable Councilman Bilbrey.
Here.
Honorable Councilman Williams.
Here.
Honorable Councilwoman Hawkins.
Here.
Honorable Vice Mayor Hill.
Here.
All right, the next two items on the agenda are to consider approval of the agenda and approval of the minutes of our last meeting. Those minutes have been provided to us, and if I'll ask you at this point if you would please look at the agenda as well as the minutes and let me know if there's anything that we need to correct or change.
I see no changes. I'll make a joint motion to approve the agenda and minutes as presented.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
I'll move.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. That will take care of our agenda and the minutes. We're mindful tonight that we have asked you all to be here, and I'm glad that to see that we have this many folks here for our meeting. We have some big decisions in front of the council. One of them particularly is to figure out what we're going to do about proceeding with our park. We had two presentations last night, and tonight we're going to take things a little out of order because we are to consider approval of one of those companies for our park design. And so if we vote on which one that we think is appropriate, that might not jive with what the public thinks is appropriate. So rather than wait and ask for your comments at the end of the meeting, I'm going to go ahead and we do have a full house, and so we're going to have to be limited on time. I said 3 minutes, and somebody else said 2 minutes. So I'm asking you now to get your ideas concise and to the point. And if you have an idea of something about the park, or if you want to, I'll recognize, express an opinion. If you have a question, we'll do our best to answer it. And is there anything else? Okay. All right. Do you have anybody with any questions? Don't be shy. You wouldn't be here if you didn't want to know. All right. Okay. Yes. Come right on. Yes, sir.
Resident Jason Scribner. I was here, but I was privy to go through all the boards and stuff like that, and the idea of whether we're going to approve it and spend the money to do it.
Yes, sir.
I feel a lot of people are here to see the park be more than it is. Okay, now that's why we're here. I did look at certain things. Some of the things I did want to consider is, after pondering on the two choices, one thing I noticed was what we have around here and what we're trying to achieve. It'd be nice to have a park that's worth coming to, but it'd also be nice for it to kind of help pay for itself. That's why the gymnasium makes sense and all the little water things. Beautiful idea. I would like to see, after being around these parks and seeing what New Hope offers, to see more of a venue where the draw is the gymnasium, the library, not so much, but the little water pad. But the two things I'd like to see is make the venue where the music or the amphitheater could be more accessible, more different, something that's gonna have a little pizzazz or something. I don't know which contractor would be able to do that. I don't know how plain Jane it's gonna be, but we could put a little bit more emphasis into that actual amphitheater type area. Another thing I noticed that would be really nice would be covered seating, whether it's just a pavilion with metal tables or covered picnic tables. Shade is nice, especially if the grandmas, most of the ones bring the kids out there. And having the water, just have a nice little base, a home base for them to go under the shades and stuff like that. Whichever contractor can accommodate that within the budget that y'all are considering, it's something I'd like for y'all to consider. Other than, a big redundancy of what we have across the street with the parks and the playgrounds. I mean, they did a good job, and it's nice to have that at a church, but this could be the same but different, and it'd be a bigger draw, better draw. I also like the bigger gym too, by the way. That's what I have to express. I don't know how that carries, but there you go. Appreciate it.
Thank you. To summarize a little bit about last night, and other council members can speak to this too, we had 2 presentations, and what we are looking at is not necessarily what we are going to do at this moment. What our first step is to choose a design, an architectural firm. Then we will be able to tell that firm, or they'll be able to tell us, here are the things that we think you can do. Is a little bit further down the road. So we're at that point. We want to, of course, be able to get the most bang for our buck, so to speak. But we will be just choosing a firm, and I think it's impossible for us to think about doing the entire park all at one time. This will be something that we're going to have to do in increments, because it's a very expensive process. And I know we all want a park, and we all have certain features that we want in a park. I have even had, I know this has caused a certain amount of speculation amongst our public, and I even got a drawing from a 7-year-old who said, "This is what I think a park should be," and she even labeled the little things that she thought were important and where they ought to go. And so I appreciate that. And what the significance of that to me is that it's going to be another generation, not mine, that will be using the park more. And we want to consider what their needs are going to be. And we don't want to get into a situation where we're paying for this on the backs of all of our citizens for, the next 20 years or something. We want to be able to afford what we're going to do. So, is there anybody else that sees that differently?
Built the park. If we'd have built the park 6, 7 years, 8 years ago, we could have got the park built for the amount of money, the whole park. We're only going to be using half now. We could have built the park in all the land. Now we're only use one. It's only going to go up. It's not going to be any cheaper. As far as we can come up with a little bit with some money, we can sell bonds and stuff. Allgood's got probably have a good bond rate. I don't think it's going to be that much. Tax-wise, Allgood only takes in about $400,000 a year. So it's not taxes that's going to be doing this. It'll be sales tax money. Walmart, U.S. Foods, and all this stuff. I think I'm for going with it wholeheartedly. But now there's other people, and you all. I think everybody's in agreement. We need something like this. When I grew up, we only had the tennis court, and we still got it. So, they call it a pickleball court now. But that's just my theory.
About this property, this was predated. I think all of us, the previous council bought the property, and we made the decision to do as much as we could in bite-sized chunks. And this is where we are after many years. I think. I've heard from many people, and listen. This is your all's venue to tell us, if we're seeing things wrong. I think what I'm hearing from citizens is that we need to take a larger bite out of this and look at doing more at a bigger chunk. And if that requires us taking out a little debt, you're correct. We've got a good bond rating. We could take out some debt, and both contractors last night said they've got resources to help find grants and identify where we can save some monies from grant standpoint. So, but I think it is time to take a big bite out of this and select. But again, tonight is to pick a vendor, pick a contractor. And then authorize Keith to negotiate an arrangement with that vendor with the intent to move forward with a big bite at the park. And I'd welcome anyone. It's good. We've got one of the vendors here tonight, Performance Services, and it's good for them to hear from you. One of the things we talked about last night with both vendors was community engagement. They need to hear. Both of them whoever gets selected will be reaching out to all citizens to hear from you. Everyone, inclusive of the 7-year-old that gave us their architectural rendering. These are all good things because we want to make sure that what gets developed is what the citizens want. Oh, I'm sorry. Both vendors are out there. I'm sorry I missed that. It's a lot of people. We're not used to this many people at a council meeting. Long-winded way of saying, if you've got some comments, we want to hear them.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
roofs and pavilions.
Well, I think maybe someone took this and consider themselves to try to help, and based on 150 participants, and it was overwhelming. Do you support the Allgood City Park expansion? 148, yes. Would you visit the park if it was completed? 142, yes. And this is just covering a period of 7 days. So this says, do you think Allgood could benefit from additional recreational facilities or activities? Again, 147 said yes. Have you or a family member visited the Allgood City Park? 96% said yes. If you visited a park in Allgood, how often have you visited? There was a few times a month was 53, a few times a week was 34, a few times a year was 40, and it goes on. Of course, we had, I'll get right to you. I know we had some that we would probably visit a little more often if we had a few more things out there. And in one of the presentations last night, I thought they were very tactful in saying that it was maybe sparse, or they saw that it could use some enhancement. Let's just say that, because I've said it's pitiful. We go out there and, we got a slide and a few swings, and, we've got a beautiful spot, and, I don't want anyone to think that I'm against the park at all. I'm 100% for the park, but I'm also about 100% about, I'm not sure how to afford it, but if I told someone today, it's like they say, how do you eat an elephant? Well, one bite at a time. And so I think we need to approach this as the same thing. We need to see what that first portion's going to be, then the next portion, and that we can, I disagree, I guess, with Councilman Williams that I'm not ready to go whole hog into something and just say, this is a massive thing, and, it's going to be 12, 15 million, whatever it is. I'm just not there yet. So I had a lady raise her hand, and she wants to say something. Yes, ma'am.
It moves. All righty. I'm Sylvia. I live on 2nd Avenue, and also proud to be working here in Allgood too. I work at the Murphy's gas station. Also, I've got a almost 2-year-old grandson, and because love taking him to the local parks. Unfortunately, I have nothing here for anything for a 2-year-old. Cookeville does. If we, like you said, no big chunks. Yes, we need something, even a small chunk, but we don't have nothing for little ones here. Cookeville, I don't want to go all the way to Cookeville when we can. I love Allgood. Why should we have to go all the way to Cookeville to do something like that? I've had customers even come by and say, says people, Allgood School has to route their kids to Cookeville to do playground stuff with them, to Cookeville, to Dogwood, and to Cane Creek, when they could come to Cookeville. To Allgood. So you guys might think it's a big bite, but it's still not a big enough. It's something. It might sound small, but it's a big deal for us. People that has little ones to big ones, we need something local, not just to go to Cookeville. Water parks in Livingston, we have to go to Livingston to play in a splash pad. And we're wasting gas. I mean, I work at a gas station. We're wasting gas to go all the way up to Livingston, where we can be spending that money local to do stuff here.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we're like wasting money just to go out of town where we could be spending it local here. So I know you're like small bites, but actually we're taking big bites and spending it other places. So why not build a park soon and get it here?
Absolutely. Thank
So
you.
I don't usually talk out loud, so I'm a little nervous, but
No,
like I said,
we're all friends in here, and we
Yeah,
respect
so-
everyone's opinion. And
so like I
That's-
said, I've got one that's 2, and I don't want to wait until he's like 10 to let him play on a playground.
no, we want to start something. It's just that we need to.
And like I said, I'll be glad to spend my tax dollars on having these little kids to play, have something local.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, sir.
When it comes to you guys talking about how we get paid for this and stuff, a lot of people, as she said, are willing. They go to the park, they're willing to spend. We don't want all the burden to take us down. But, a lot of these other parks had better ideas and had like selling little advertisements, selling personal vendettas where you come in. They got a dog park. It's like, what's it to grandma? Give us $20 to put a brick down with your dog's name on it. We could do like fundraisers for the park. We got that digital sign right out there. Just say, hey, this Saturday, go to the food market, and whatever you pay is going towards the park. I think there's ways in which we can, since our vision is down the road, if we start in our code that the idea that the park is good, we want it. If you're interested in donating to the park, beep, send some cash. And then we get an idea how much we got so we know how much to take out. This way we can, like he says, the longer we wait with this inflation and things are going, we'll be half built and we'll be half happy. And we'll have haphazardous park. So I like the idea, get what we can get through the love of these people who are already here, get that dough, let's make a little budget, and then if we need more, then we know how much we need versus, we're going to take out so much. Let's put the burden on us a little. I think we're here to represent that, and I don't think it would take, there's some people, some donors, US Foods, you want a little billboard in that sign? Pay for the park. Pay for the park. Your taxes are already paying for it. Put your name on the park. Like the sign at the Allgood Middle School. That bank dropped good cash for that sign. It paid for itself. I think with this park and the people and the community, I think we could do a big dent if we just did a little bit more creative way of getting the money from them. That's what I'm saying. I know you guys are smart enough to do it. So I think just like whatever it takes to like, hey, we'll donate in whatever way or fundraise in whatever way, and then budget off that since it's so fun. Just my opinion, thought, ideas.
Oh, great ideas. That's what we need. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Jessica Allen, a lifelong resident of Allgood. I love it here. I loved growing up here. As a child, you could ride your bicycle, stay out past dark. It was safe. Now, I 100% support the park. It is great for a place for our kids to go, parents and grandparents also. But I do have a concern with my property bordering the park is our safety. We've had people climb over the fence into our backyard. We've had people feeding our dogs. Our dogs aren't the friendliest, but they are in a secured backyard. And I'm so afraid somebody's going to get bit by one of my dogs because they come into my backyard. I've put locks on all my buildings because people are going through my buildings. My concern is the safety, our safety and the other people's safety that lives around the park. What do we get? How are we going to be kept safe? That I'm 100% supporting of the park. A splash pad, a climbing wall, an amphitheater, I think that's a great idea. But I'm scared, I just have to say in front of everybody, I am scared to live where I live because of the activity that goes on over there. I could call the police, but they're already gone. I've got motion sensitive lights outside. Well, if they come on, I look outside, there's nobody there, but apparently there was somebody there at one point. you know, and our buildings have been rummaged through. So like I said, I've got locks on everything now, you know, but I don't feel like I should have to live in fear of something that somebody's coming over my fence properties around the park.
Yes, ma'am. Again, that's maybe something that you've looked at more, but I believe that there is a plan that we would have the park under surveillance video, surveillance safety equipment, and of course we'd ask the police department as well as, parks during the day, but in the evening or whatever, we would have people, I hate to say patrolling, but I mean at least they'd be out there and be visible, and so we certainly don't want anything jeopardizing you or your safety, while we also consider everyone else's as well. And I would be concerned if that had happened to me. So, but we are looking at lights. There will be lighting facilities as well as surveillance out there. That is a great ringtone, Mr. Wood.
Both of our said that they would, this, like she said, well, this is just to figure out who's going to. Both of them said they'll have town meetings, internet exchange, you all want. See more. But this next, after this step, that's the next step when they start finding out what's going to be priorities are. Answer your questions.
I'll just piggyback on that. Both groups mentioned a buffer, making sure that there is a buffer. We've got to be good neighbors. Just because there's a park, you all are the neighbors to the park. We've got to be good neighbors, and that both of them made the point that they were very attuned to that. We don't want to disrupt the people that live next to the park. We want them to enjoy the park, but not be impacted by it.
I'll give you this. We have looked at security cameras and lighting. We also know that studies show that community parks, or the library and community centers, will actually improve public safety. Studies have shown that. We would address those concerns and work to alleviate those, as well as through the police department, the camera system, lighting, and things of that nature. So.
I would imagine it'd be deterrent. I mean, Chief, I would imagine once that thoroughfare gets through there, you're going to be sending people through left and right. Policemen, you'd have to, and so it might be a good.
Sir, do you have one more thing? Well, I guess that would be up to the council. I know that we expected to make a decision tonight on which group we were going to go with. But, I mean, I don't think another month would, but I mean, I don't know how we're going to get, that was part of last night's emphasis, was we wanted you to hear these two groups, and so you would be better equipped tonight to tell us, I guess, kind of who you thought we could work with. Both of them did a fine job, and both of them had excellent presentations. Miss Stacy?
You all have the option if you want to give each of the two companies one last opportunity to speak. That you're welcome to do that.
I love that idea.
So who wants to go first? Yes, ma'am.
In Allgood all my life, and I love it, and I'll never live anywhere else. And I would love to see our park expand for the children, the playground, and the water element. That's, to me, kids love water more than anything. And being wet when it's hot outside, there's just nothing like that. And I've seen lots of parents get out there in that at Dogwood Park too. So it's not just for the children. I have a little bit of a concern about a new community center and library, because we have that. And I realize what we have is small, but I think it meets our needs. And I know that is a big chunk of money when you're looking at those things. And I also feel like there's enough room where that one is that they could be expanded right there rather than build a whole new thing. So that's, but way to save money. And that's to say they want the playground for the children, and the children want it too. And I said we should go to Allgood School and let them have a questionnaire and see what they say about what they want on a playground. So that was just a thought. So thank you.
Thank you.
Gentleman who wants to step up to the podium first, Brian or Peter?
Yeah, and I would say, to be fair, I mean, 5 minutes, will that get you an overview? Both of you can do it, and you think in 5 minutes? Okay. I don't want to keep, we'll stay here all night. I don't have to be anywhere until 8 o'clock in the morning. So as long as it takes, we're here. So, but I just wanted to be equal to both groups. So, in all fairness. So I think, Brian, you're sitting closer. That's a real scientific way to pick who goes first, but.
He went first last night, so I'll go.
Oh, okay.
Is that fair? So, turn around. So I will answer your question first. So we've done about 800 of these type projects. 80% of them are repeat customers. So 80% of our 800 projects are with repeat customers or former customers. So I hope that's evident that we are generally on budget, on schedule, and deliver what we promised. So I was actually showing Roy earlier, we actually have about 24 fundamentals as a company that we live by. And a couple of those are do what we say and say what we mean. And so I can show them to you, but it's essentially how we live and how we do our projects. And it's through honesty and transparency, through budget transparency, and through schedule and challenge transparency. Because there's always going to be challenges on these projects. There's always going to be things that pop up, certainly with wetlands and certainly with a park of this size. But it's how we handle those, how we handle them with candid conversation and honesty. So that's one. I hope that answers a little bit of your question. But two, I do want to, with respect to the mayor's comment, this is not a one and done. These concepts are not the final. These concepts are just concepts. And so this stage, all we want to do is, one, figure out who's taking the lead. Who does the city work with in leading this process? It's not how big a park, it's not how much is going to be built at this stage. It's how do we phase this out? Do we phase this out? What does the budget look like? How much can we fit in the budget? And so essentially, what we as a team, what Bill Hall, he lives here, he was our project manager. He was project manager at Tennessee Tech. He lives 6 miles away. So what he would be tasked with is how do we figure out how much we can fit in the budget for the city of Allgood? Not only that, what would come first? Would it be a playground that first comes first and do the groundwork and civil work to make it Those are, usable area for the rest of the park, how to answer them and get to that answer. We don't know what the perfect park is yet. We have ideas, what we think would be good, but we don't know what the perfect park is. And so community engagement, to their comments last night, is an integral part of how we approach these projects, whether it's through surveys, whether it's through town hall meetings, or whether it's through individual conversations with citizens like yourself about the shading last night and the pathways. We want to have that engagement with you and figure out how do we move the project forward. One, budget conscious, but two, schedule conscious. How do we get the maximum benefit in the short time that we have? So I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm Brian Stone with Performance Services. We actually have another little piece of it, and to your point, Vice Mayor, there's another piece that we can actually help contribute some savings to. And so that did get lost a little bit last night. There was an initial piece that we had. How do we create some operational and savings efficiency within the city that can be funneled toward this project? And so those are things that we're certainly willing to discuss in this early stage. But to answer everyone's questions, this is really just the first step in figuring out who's taking the lead and figuring out what the park will look like. These are just our ideas at this point. But on behalf of Performance Services, I do want to say thank you, whatever happens tonight. Appreciate the opportunity, and thank you all. This is one of the most well-attended meetings I've seen in a really long time. So kudos to you guys, and thank you for the opportunity.
How many years have y'all been in business?
27. Sure. There's a couple of things in Oliver Springs. There's some stuff in Livingston. We did a project in Livingston. So if you want to go up, if you want to drive 20 minutes away, the mayor was actually here last night with us. But that's probably the closest.
Be the
Ex-mayor, yes. Sorry. Sure. We've done projects. I've done projects in Dunlap, in Centerville, in 3 in Nashville, out in Collierville. So I've done a number of projects here in the state. We don't do, Performance Services, we don't do anything other than public work. So all our work is with cities, counties, or school districts. So,
Any of them, I'm sorry, were any of them under budget?
yes,
corporate offices.
Indianapolis, but we're in Nashville.
Yesterday say that you guys do don't do your own
No, so that's actually one of the main differences between with what we do, how we approach the projects. We feel that you get a better project when everyone has a seat at the table at the beginning. Not only the architect, but the engineer, but the construction managers all. So everyone has a stake in the design process, including the public, including city council, with what the design looks like. Ultimately, we believe that produces a better project on the end and allows us to put guarantees on our projects that really no one else can. So if you're familiar with construction at all, we actually guarantee that there will be no change orders on the back. So if we've missed something, we actually own that risk. If we make a design error, we own the risk. If an engineering error, we own the risk. If there's something that we've missed, we own that and eat the cost. So don't pass that on to you. We don't put change orders on the back end to say, hey, this changed, we didn't know about this, we need to add more money or add the budget. We actually own that risk. So we put a guarantee on the front end that we will not have change orders and increase the cost on the back end.
The Livingston project, we're talking about the splash pad and amphitheater, did y'all do that?
No, so we did some building improvements, building renovation work in Livingston. So, and there's actually a solar, out in Salina, there's a solar array that we're working on right now. So we actually we're installing a solar array in Salina, so it's the raw water intake for Livingston.
Mr. Stone, we're going to have to stop you.
That's fine.
Sorry.
So, but we did some building improvements and upgrades, renovations for City of Livingston.
Thank you, Mr. Stone.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you for
Mr.
the
Brian Stone with Performance Services.
But
Mr.
you do it in phases.
Yes, ma'am. Happy to.
Mr. Peter Metz with AEI, partner with Kimley Horn, if you would come up, please.
Wasn't expecting this, Keith. Yeah.
Neither were we.
Yeah, I'm not that great at ad-libbing. I'll address a couple of things. To answer your question, yes, we've done lots of projects. The most recent ones that we presented the other night all came in under budget. Police department was a 16 mil project. We brought it in at 14. 2 fire departments are under construction right now. Park project over by the hospital we did was 7.3. It's coming in, it came in at 6.4, 6.5. And this building was our project. When we did the work for this project, the budget was a little over $3 million. We ended up construction at 2.9. So we have the same track record type that Brian was describing. I've been in business for about 35 years. Lived in Cookeville all my life, all my business life. I've owned the business that since that point in time. Kimley Horn is out of Nashville. Alicia, that was with me last night, has been in business for about 16 years, and park activities are her bailiwick. This is what she does. She's done this for 16 years. In regards to dollars, I don't know if Alicia, I think she mentioned it last night, but there's a grant that's available with TDEC, PREF. They apply for that between 5 and 10 times a year, and over the last 4 or 5 years, they've hit every time success rates with securing the grants. They can fund up to $7 million. They don't always hit that $7 million mark, but they're well funded. Paperwork is not quite as bad. So they have excellent track record at bringing additional funds in to assist projects that already have a certain amount of dollar that are already in place. Our mode of operation, we are not contractors, we are designers. We have engineers, we have designers on board. We're very much focused on the project's design and implementing whether they're items of park or their physical facilities. We've done several, yes ma'am. No, that's okay. Kimley Horn has. Kimley Horn, Alicia that was here with me last night, that is their bailiwick, that is their strength. Kimley Horn and, no, we're the designers and the engineers.
So from your group, somebody from your group has done a park?
Yes. Correct. I'm sorry?
You need to express that. If y'all done Cane Creek, you need to let these people know y'all did.
Yes, it was a part of our presentation last night, and they also have.
We all wasn't here last night.
I'm sorry. I understand.
So let's have to work.
Kimley Horn is operated around every county around Nashville. Alicia would have to speak to every single park that they have done. Our contribution to this project are some of the more physical structures, the library, the gymnasium, potential community center or senior citizen center. The parks are her strengths, and that's what she brings to the table. So
Peter, your packet's right here if anybody wants to see it. Shows your work and everything that you all have done.
You're welcome to
come get this.
I was here last night, I saw it. It's amazing.
Thank you. Let's see where. In the process that we use, we'll bring the general contractor on board with us as a part of our team during the early stages of engineering and design. We task them with budgeting, value engineering, providing us with alternative materials, so that we have 3 or 4 budget checks through our entire design process, our engineering process. They tell us where we're high, where we are low, what possibilities we have of using other alternative materials, other alternative methods of construction. We adjust our documents, and we move on until we hit the next budgeting stage. We go through that exercise multiple times so that we can bring the budget of the project in check if it's out of line, or if it's in line at the time, below what the project in budget should be. Yes, it does. Police department, I mentioned the police department, 16 mil, brought it in at 14 mil, we had no change orders. Fire departments, 16 mil, brought it in at 13 and a half, 14 mil. So far, it's still under construction, but no change orders. It's not uncommon to, when you pay attention to the project, to the engineering, and to the.
Do you bid it out, or
bid every single aspect of the work out, from toilet partitions to the entire package of concrete. From A to Z, until we hand you the key to the door. I live in Cookville, I can't get away. We're there, typically, a general contractor will warranty a project for a year, for a solid year, or for a year after that. But there are also other warranties that come with the package that extend sometimes up to 30 years. Roofing, those kinds of things.
During this process, is there discussion about what our annual expenses would be to keep this up and going? Like, if we were aware of the process, if we put in this is what our annual expenses are going to be to make sure to get us paid.
Yes, it will. It will be an expense. And yes, there are projections until you get the bill. You don't actually know, of course, but there are projections of bills and costs that come in as the project lives its life. And those are those are created and provided during the construction.
As many parks have you all designed and implemented?
Me? No.
How many has Kimberly Horn designed and implemented?
Last night
If you don't have an answer to that, that's fine.
I don't know the total number.
We didn't ask the other guy, I don't know. I mean, he said 800 projects, but, you know, we're not here to talk about fire departments and police departments, we're here to talk about our parks.
No, but we are here to talk about gymnasiums and libraries and those physical facilities.
Right, and that's
the
all
shops.
part of it, I understand.
Yeah. So Kinley Horn brings their strengths to the table with your parks. We worked together on the last renovation of the Dogwood Park. We renovated CPAC. Kinley Horn took care of the park. So that's how the team works. Those are my strengths and those are her strengths. We come together and we bring the strength of both of us to the table.
Mr. Metz.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
Well, we're at a crossroads. Do we go ahead and choose, or do we need more discussion or more input? Okay. All right. Then item number 3 on the agenda is to consider an approval of one of these companies to be the architect and design for the park project. And I will entertain any motion the council wishes.
So let me explain how this will work. So
Yes,
you
sir.
all are prioritizing who is first pick and who is second pick. First pick will get first negotiations. I'll bring you back the project package from that company. If we can't work out the deal with them and it falls through, then we move to the second pick. So tonight you would be prioritizing who is first choice to try to sit down and negotiate how to move forward with this project. Failure to make a motion means this fails and it's off the table.
I'll make a motion to go with
By Mr. Williams to go with AEI. Is there a second?
I'll make a second. I just have to add, usually I don't add, but terribly difficult You guys are both fantastic vendors, and you made this an impossible decision. But I will second the motion and go from there.
All right. We have a motion that we get with approval for AEI. It has been made by Mr. Williams and seconded by Mr. Hill. All those in favor can say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, I would vote as opposed. Did that get everybody?
Can we do a roll
Do you wanna
call
do a
vote,
roll call vote?
please?
Yeah, I
I
would
appreciate
rather.
Mayor Fowler,
No.
Honorable Bilbrey, Honorable Williams, Honorable Hawkins. Yes. Vice Mayor Hill.
Yes.
Passes with a vote of 4 yeses.
Okay. Under new business, we have to consider approval to suspend the reading of resolutions 368 and 369. We do that as a courtesy and as a time-saving measure, as we are going to discuss those resolutions in detail when we come to them. So I would go ahead and make a motion that we suspend the reading of those two resolutions. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Number 5. Consider approval of Stringfellow for residential truck repair in the amount of, I think I've got $23,119.62. That okay? And you would like to explain what that's about?
I can. This is the 2013 residential orange truck that runs around town. It is a sidearm pickup garbage truck. The side arm is completely wore out. It's hanging unlevel. This requires a repair from Heil. Heil has remanufactured arms that can be mounted on those. Once the arm is mounted, they will take the old one and send it back to the company. You have to go through a company that is specific to Heil. Stringfellow is that. So it does require that specific from them, and this is the price to take that off and put the new one on.
And they have done our work for
Heil dealer, so if there's a repair on the Heil part, they're the ones, or it has to go back to Heil. So this would be who would have to do it.
and this was budgeted.
Yes. We're trying to piece this truck together and keep it on the road for another year or two.
We appreciate that.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Thank you, Mr. Williams. It's been a motion that we go ahead and approve the Stringfellow truck repair in the amount of $23,119.62. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Item number 6, consider approval to purchase a snowplow. And that we have bids, I think, in our packet.
So we have multiple bids here for this. One is from Stringfellow. The Stringfellow bid is around $230,000. We have bids from Rush Truck Center for about the same. They're around $230,000. McMahon Truck Centers has bid the lowest for a 2016 Mack, upfitted with a Warner bed, insert, and plow. The total price of the truck and the plow is $188,127.45. They did leave off a stand that goes with that insert that I would recommend we add to that, which is $3,500, which would make the total bid $191,627.45. The other issue is the delivery timeline on these. This is a 12-week delivery, so we're looking at January, early February. A lot of the other truck companies were looking at April, May delivery. which is after the snow season. We did budget $175,000 for this, so it is a little bit over, but this is the best deal we could come up with after crunching these numbers for several weeks. And I've talked with Director Bradshaw. He agrees this truck will serve the purpose and work for what we need. And we'll also surplus the Sterling dump truck to sell, which would offset some of this expense as well. To 6 to 7 months. Yeah, April, maybe May. So I would recommend McMahon Truck Center and a total purchase price of $191,627.45.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Number 7 is to consider approval of Public Works roof rebid at our last meeting, and this time we only received one bid. Is that correct?
That's correct. The only bid we received was from Genesis Roofing Company. This also was for a TPL roof screwed down after consulting with some roofing companies and some others. There were 12 companies that picked up bid packets to look at this. I think 3 or 4, Director Bradshaw, that came and actually looked at the roof. We consulted with a bidder who didn't bid on it to ask him his opinion. And on a TPO roof, replacement over the metal existing with rusted, you have to cut out the panels and replace them, or you have to seal them with a chemical, which takes time and expense. He didn't think at this point, given the information, that was the best route to go. He felt like we should probably look at a total roof replacement, remove the metal, put new metal and new insulation, and that way we don't have this rust coming back through or moisture getting to it. So it's my recommendation that we reject this and put out a bid for a roof replacement.
What did we budget for this?
125,000 was what we put in the budget.
Will a roof repair be still within
I think we can do the total roof replacement for less than 60,000.
Okay.
Metal beams. It's a red steel structure. Metal structure with that 3-inch, was it white insulation roll under it, and then the metal roof on top of it.
So are we saying that since we only received this one bid and it's insufficient for our needs, that we need to pass this and, we need to rebid this?
I would recommend reject this and we'll bid for a roof replacement.
I make a motion that we go ahead and reject this bid and ask that it be rebid for a total replacement roof. Do I have a second?
Second.
Tie. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Item number 8 is to consider approval for the Public Works lean-to shed. I guess let's look at that. It looks like we had 3 bidders on that, Mr. Morrison.
Oh, turned it off. That's correct. It's 60-foot wide, 40-foot deep structure with a 13-foot minimum clearance for height, with 4 separate parking spaces. These are intended for garbage trucks and the brush truck. The bids that came in, Skilled Services bid a pre-engineered red iron structure, which is why it's out of line. It's $181,700. That's a fully engineered building. And Rice Construction bid a $73,500 on a high wood structure metal roof. And Advanced Building is the apparent low bidder on this project. And we budgeted $50,000 on this, so it's just a little bit over.
Is this bid, already bidding on something else?
Yeah, he's got another bid active, and he's done work for us before too, so he's on the next bid as well.
Sort of.
So if you use him, he's the apparent low bidder here. And if you choose this one, I would go ahead and use him on the next one, so you have one contractor.
I'll go so moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Now, item number 10. Consider approval of, here's the resolution that we were talking about earlier, of 368.
Oh,
I'm
skip number
sorry, did
9.
I skip one?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Yep.
You're okay.
I got the park shop. Consider approval number 9. Consider approval of any bidder for the parks shop and in the amount. So let me get to my parks shop. All right, and as you were saying again, Mr. Morrison, there were 3 bidders on this, and Advanced was the one that we previously granted the bid to, and you think it's appropriate to go ahead and use Advanced on this bid as well?
I would. The low bid was 149.5. Advanced building was 150,000, so there's only a $500 difference. But if you stick with Advanced Building Contractors, that gives us one contractor to deal with on both projects, and just consolidates it down to one contractor to have to deal with.
Yeah. I'll make the motion to approve and keep it with Advanced Building Contractors for the park shop.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, now, item number 10. The resolution 368-25, which authorizes the city of Allgood to participate in the James L. Richardson PEP Driver Safety Matching Grant. And as I understand it, I know that PEP is one of our insurance carriers, and this is a grant that we could receive from them if we
50% matching grant for driver safety programs that we implement. Our agent was here. I don't know where he went to. So we can get money back. Our insurance wants us to check driver's license once a year for authorized drivers of vehicles. Do things to improve driver safety, do things to monitor vehicles and keep up with them, and these funds will pay for part of that. So it's $3,000 grant, $1,500 reimbursement. There's our agent in the back. He loves it when we apply for these. Mr. Bob Lynch.
On behalf of Bob, I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll
Thanks, Bob.
second that. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item 11, Resolution 369-25, which is in support of a recurring funding for the Short Line Railroad. I don't know if we have anything to refer to on that. I don't have that in my...
I do. So this is a request from the Nashville Eastern Railroad to send to the state to request recurring funding to pay for rail line programs in the state of Tennessee. Short line railroads run the smaller rail lines to the side. They serve Davidson, Wilson, Smith, and Putnam County. It runs through town here. They are asking for recurring funding from the state, and they want our support in doing that. And so they asked us to pass this resolution to send to the state in support of funding for short line railroad programs.
Sure.
Ralph Farley, resident. Who is the Short Line Railroad? Is it Nashville and Eastern or is it R.J. Corman?
R.J. Corman is the actual operator. Nashville Eastern is in charge of the line, so it's a lease through Nashville Eastern. So
To maintain the, okay.
yes.
Thank you.
No money from us. They're asking for money from the state.
They just want a letter from us. I make a motion that we go ahead and approve Resolution 36925. Is there a second? Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Item number 12 is consider approval of 3 terms on the BZA that will be ending or expiring in 2020, or well, it would be appointing someone whose term would expire in 2028. Is that correct?
Correct. Terms expire in 2025. Two of those members are here, Ms. Pat Judd, Mr. Bill Benson. The third member is Shauna Whitefield.
Okay. Has this been advertised?
It has not. We can advertise it if you all want to table it and put it out until December. You did. You voted to advertise in the last one, and Miss Pat Judd put her. Okay. No, we're good right now. They're good till December. We just usually do the renewals around October, and that way we've got time. So we can advertise, bring it back in December, and you can make a final vote.
How are you advertising?
We'll advertise in the newspaper, online, Facebook.
Good stuff. Thanks.
They just come by and put their name in and say, we want to be in it, unless you want me to do a full application. Background check, drug check, all those stuff, Miss Pat.
Yeah, we've already messed up on.
We can't ask public party affiliation if that's what you're referring to.
No comment. All right. I think that I'll make the motion then that we just table this and allow it to be advertised, and we will look at this again in December. That's the motion that I'm going to make. Do we have a second to that?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. You probably feel like you've already given your report, but Mr. Morrison, do you want to, or you want our department heads to go first, or you want?
I don't think I have anything left except November council meeting has been canceled at the direction of the city council. We will meet again December the 9th. Department heads, your turn.
The tennis court lights are done. They're done. We ordered the second set of lights. As a lot of you know, we'd upgraded those lights and put LED fixtures on it, and a lot of people felt like it wasn't bright enough. I agree with that, so we bought another round of those and have installed them to double that lighting, and it seems to be working out good now. Not any negative comments yet. So the war memorial over at the community center, some of the flag that's engraved on that, along with all the service members' names by there, it's fresh and new and looks good. We intend to, there's lighting there for the flag that catches the memorial. We're going to add another section of lighting for the memorial itself that's coming up here over the next couple of months. We've added benches at the basketball court. A couple people had mentioned that might be handy, so we installed a few over there, and those are a big hit. We'll do Halloween here at City Hall on Halloween night. We're going to do 5 to 9. We're going to pass out candy here. So if you're interested in free candy, we're going to have some good stuff. I said 5 to 9. We'll go from 5 until we run out of candy. and we'll have a lot of it. Our Christmas parade scheduled for December the 12th. That's Friday, December the 12th, and it'll be at 6 p.m. and the route's like it always is, always has been. So follow the Facebook page and the website, and we'll have the information, anything that comes up about that. Applications to participate in the parade are here in the lobby. You can pick those up and turn them in person, or you can do those online and submit them. It's free to participate in it. We just ask anybody that wants to that they give us application. It helps us plan for it. Our tree lighting event that we do every year will be Saturday, December the 6th. Keith, I think we talked about, did we decide on 4 to 6? Or, so we'll, 4 to 6 here in the lobby of City Hall. We'll have Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus here. First National Bank's going to help us out again, as they always do, and we appreciate it. Provide pictures with Santa. We'll have an ornament coloring table for the kids. That'll be free. We'll have cocoa and popcorn, so that'll be a good time. And at 6 o'clock will be the official tree lighting here at City Hall. So we hope everybody comes out and participates in that. And I think that's all I got.
So for September, we had another busy month. We responded to over 50 calls. On October 11th, we sent a team. We partnered with other fire departments from around the Upper Cumberland, and we sent a group of firefighters down to clean the fallen firefighter memorial here in Tennessee. Big thanks to Walt for loaning us a truck and some backpack blowers and leaf rakes and stuff to help accomplish that. We are finishing up a basic firefighter class that we are hosting with Sparta right now. So I think got 2-3 more weeks left on that, and then we'll have some more trained firefighters.
Been a busy month for us. We've had 679 separate incidents, 34 general information reports, 22 investigations, 9 traffic accidents, 5 with injury, 217 traffic stops, 58 citations. Boys are working hard.
For Public Works, you've noticed probably around town we've been doing some tile repair and some sidewalk repair. I'll keep this one kind of short because I'm sure everybody wants to go home. And just to let you know that the leaves are starting to fall. So we will start the leaf pickup season probably about the second week of November. Just remember, get your leaves as close as you can to the street, and try not to put any debris in it because our machine, it does not like sticks or rocks or pumpkins. So, but yeah, so there's that.
Do we have to call to be put on the list, or is it just a rotation?
We go by.
Okay.
We generally do it the following Sunday if it doesn't rain then. It's usually at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think we've only had to do that once, so we fingers crossed.
That's your guarantee.
Are there any citizens at this time that would like to be heard from, or did we cover all that with did we wear you out with the park information? All right. Okay, yes, ma'am.
Christmas parade, where does it end? Because I know one year it's always ended at All Good Methodist Church, but then one year it ended here. So I'm just curious
it goes.
where it's supposed to end.
So there's not like a rally point at the end, just a finish line where everybody gathers. Once it makes the turn here towards the post office, once you get beyond that, you just disperse. So the police department will have all that inbound traffic stopped, and then everybody can go their separate way from there. There's nowhere we don't have a big parking lot on that end to pile everybody up, so that had always created a pretty bad traffic problem for us to try to get that cleared out. And that's right at the end when all the kids from the floats and stuff are trying to catch back up to mom and dad and running around, so it's easier just to get the traffic cleared out. So people that drop their kids off at the park, or I'm sorry, at the school to begin with, to ride on the float, they can, and mom and dad can come pick them up over here at the park or at City Hall or whatever, because there's sidewalks and it's lighted and they can get to that. We found here the past couple of years that worked.
Anything else? Yes, sir.
Are we on the White House?
So we have 3 remaining signatures. 2 have agreed to sign. 1 is working through his attorney, so we're waiting on that. They had called 1 to follow up on the signature. She had some health issues. She has not called back, and we haven't got the other signature, and I am waiting on an answer from the other attorney to know where that other one's at. So right now we're still sitting at 4 of 7 signed.
Put a little bow on it when we're done and make sure it says to Roger.
I'm going to let him drive that new snowplow through it.
The snowplow will be here in 12 weeks. I've already figured that one out.
All right. Yes, sir.
Putting this together and putting all the work in, representative democracy, it's your decision, but you're including the people and getting feedback. I think as you go along, maybe you'll want to have some more input. Maybe Roy's recreation committee will get revived. And I think when you look at these things that Performance did, option A, B, and C, everybody's going to want C. The big playground with 8 swings, instead of one with 2 swings. So you've got a lot to do. And also, I was going to say, somebody commented about the not having a playground. Y'all did approve, and Hope Church built a really nice playground right there that's open to the public. Anybody except for during church hours, I guess they'd rather not do that. It's a modern playground, so that's available. In the meantime, this isn't going to happen today.
But at least we're starting. We've gotten to a starting place, so that's good. Yes, yes, ma'am.
The parade's always stopped at the Allgood United Methodist Church because those ladies are always there to give out cookies. We have a room full and we give lots of cookies. So that's the way it's always been. And the parade keeps on going because people park there and watch the parade also. And it usually always ends at the end out there. Second Avenue, they go this way. First Avenue, they go that way. So that's what we're planning anyway.
Oh,
We always do.
okay, so that's an invitation for anybody who wants to stop there at the what I call the fellowship hall, and they would have cookies and that kind of thing there for anybody who wants to come in. I've done that a time or two, so it's kind of cool. So I enjoy it. I look forward to that. All right. Is there anything else?
One more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
On that, could there possibly be maybe plans for a rally point possibly at White Plains School? So that the parade could continue that further?
What happened to? Did Roy?
Parade at 2nd Avenue. If the participants want to make a rally point, that's what we recommend. But we don't tell any one participant to go all to that parking lot. If you all want to meet at Old City Hall, if you all want to come back to the church, we welcome that. We just want to get the parade on through and not hold it up where it can end. So you can meet at the school, which is what a lot of the groups do. Some of them go down to the fire hall and meet. Personally, I've met at the school and dispersed parade attendance, so you can do that anywhere. Some of them drive all the way back to the school, and if you want to do that, that's up to you all. But we try to leave that up to the group, so you're not all bunched up in one spot and trying to get run over. So it ends at 2nd Avenue at the church, and then you all can go where you need to.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Cass. All right, that's all right.
We would like for the participants to be invited to our church for hot chocolate and cookies afterwards. So they don't have to come, but if they want to, they're welcome.
We'll announce that.
Make sure that, and we'll put it on our social media, and I know you all have social media too, so we can make sure everybody knows.
And there'll be several. The First National Bank will have hot chocolate and cookies. Hope Church will have hot chocolate and cookies. There's candy, cookies, and hot chocolate all over the end of the route. You can go anywhere you want to and fill up on hot chocolate.
Or you might want to stop at all three. Don't limit yourself. 'Tis the season to give.
Just don't drink and drive.
Anything else from any members of the council? Anything else from directors? Mr. Morrison? All right. We'll just remind everyone that our next meeting will be December the 9th, and we will try to keep you posted as details come forward on any projects that we're working on here in the city. So thank you all very much. I will make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All right. I think we had 4 seconds. That's great. So that means that we're all in agreement and we're going to be adjourned for the evening. Thank you all very much.